What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I thought I'd make a quick video. Buoy 10 is right around the corner and everybody is going to be fishing up there with these Brad's lures. So I thought I'd make a quick video and explain everything about the Brad Skinny Mini and how it differs from the original and a couple ways to rig it. So I'll be going through 3 ways to rig the Brad's Skinny Mini, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, let's start off with the differences between the two. So here you have the Skinny Mini. This is the new version. So as you guys can see, it's a little bit smaller than the original. The original opens up by this rubber band, so you peel this rubber band off like that, open the cavity. They come with this little scent pad in here. I always take that out because I like to use the canned tuna with my scents. And that's how you would open it up. Put your bait in, lay it in that tray, close the lure, and then put your rubber band back on. So that's the original. But now this is the new technology with the Brad Skinny Mini. Is you basically just kind of pry, like bend it and pry the little door open. That opens up, swings open. This piece actually comes off. So this is fully off now. Same thing, comes with a scent pad. I usually take that out. Then you would lay your bait in here, and then it's like a little hinge. You would put this right up in there like that, place it back down, and then bend it and kind of pry it back in. And then once it's closed, you're ready to fish. Okay, so another thing you can do with these Skinny Minis is, I have a little box here of all Skinny Minis. Let's see. Say you wanted to mix and match colors. That's something you can do with the Skinny Mini. So I have a different color here. We take this bottom and you can place it with the rotten banana. So now you can customize your colors. So now you have half red on each side along with the rotten banana plus a little sparkle here. Or you can do the exact opposite and put the rotten banana on the hot tamale or jackpot, whatever this one is. And there you go. So it's pretty cool. You can customize the colors and stuff. That's just another benefit of using the Skinny Mini over the original. And there's tons of combination. Brad's makes thousands of colors, so you can customize it basically any way you want. A certain color that you want to fish. Alright, let's get into the rigging. So, first method we're going to use is the is the way I would rig it. So, for Skinny Minis, I like using 3/0 hooks, and for the originals I use 4 and sometimes 5/0. The hooks I'm using are these Big River bait hooks. This is a new hook that I'm using this year. I really like the offset, so you guys can see it curves pretty hard to the left. So that also helps with hooking fish and keeping fish pinned. So I thought I'd give these a try this year. They're both 3/0 hooks, just 2 single hooks. Leader I'm going to use is this Trilene Big Game, nothing special, 50-pound. So take this and I'll just pull out enough. I usually do about 1 arm's length. Give this a trim. And then I'm going to start with my first hook here. I got my line. So I'm going to take the line and I'm going to face the hook this way. I'm going to take the line, go down the shaft of the hook like that. Pinch it on the shaft. And then make my 6 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like that. I'm going to go all the way to the other end of my line. All the way over here. I got it pinched. Then I'm going to go, instead of going down, I'm going to go up through this eye this time. So now I have like an inch sticking out there. Like that. Then I'm going to lay this down, this line right here, down the shaft again. So now I have this little inch sticking out. I'm going to make my 6 reps again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull this tight. You got to watch this line doesn't buckle on itself, so you kind of just got to keep straightening it out. Pull it nice and smooth, not too fast. You don't want to make a bunch of friction on the line. And then kind of straighten this out if you want and cinch it up tight. You got your little tag end. Take your little pair of snippers. Let's see if I can't get that here. Snip that off. So now your first hook is secured on the line. Okay, now the second hook is a little bit different. Instead of going down, you're going to go up again. So I got the hook in this hand this time. And I'm going to go, instead of going down, I'm going to go up. So up the eye of the hook. Pull that all the way down to your second hook. And for this part, the spacing on my hooks, I usually like about a finger width and a half. So finger and a half-ish, somewhere in there. And then I like to have my hooks opposing each other, so opposite directions. Sometimes you can't help it when you tie it. You can straighten it out later, but for now, I try to make it so I pinch it so that the hook is on the other side, facing away from the first hook. Then I'm gonna make my wraps. Let's see if I can't get that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Other end of my line. Up to the eye again. Stick out that inch. Pinch, hold this line down here. Lay that line down the hook. And then make your 6 wraps again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to pull that tight. Making sure this doesn't get tangled. Keep pulling. Cinch it up. So now you can see it didn't really lay over. It's kind of cattywampus. So you can actually straighten this out with your fingers here. Kind of twist that knot on there to where you want it, and then tighten it up. And then you can kind of bend the line to get the hook up that you want. So there we go. Still need to rotate a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Now they're opposing each other. Okay, next step. This is something new that Pro from VIP came out with. Just some like tubing, really thin diameter tubing for your spacing. So he makes them in multiple colors. I'm just going to use the glow today, but he makes it in green, pink, and orange, I think. Get some of this out. So it's just thin diameter tubing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this out. So I put it to the eye, almost to the eye, because I'm going to put a bead here, so I'll leave a little bit of space there. And I want those hooks to be just at the end of this body of this thing. So I'm going to go right about there, pinch that, get my clippers, trim that off. Okay, now this piece is going on my line, so thread this all the way on your line. And this goes all the way down to the hooks, just like that. Okay, next step, I got some beads here. All sorts of different, this is my spinner box, so I like to match the bead color with the silver bait, so we're going to go yellow. And another thing we're going to need, just to prevent the bead from sliding over that tubing, is I got a little tiny sequin, kind of like you're using for if you were to peg a bead for steelhead. Just a little sequin. Put that guy down there. First things first, you're going to take that sequin and you're going to thread it on the line. Just like so. So now that sequin's on the line, thread that down, and then your bead. Thread that down. So now you have your 2 hooks, your tubing, your sequin, and the little bead. And all that sequin's doing is if your hole on your bead is too big and it will slide over that tubing, then your super bait will not hold the spacing. So you gotta, I put that sequin there so that it doesn't slide over the tubing. And then, next thing, take your super bait, your skinny mini. You're gonna go through this little hole right here and out this side. Sorry, right there. So we're gonna go up, and then there's another little hole right here. You're gonna go in that hole and out the top, just like that. You're gonna pull that through, and now you have a rig super bait, rig skinny mini, where the hook positioning is just off the tip of it, so that this can't get caught in here while it spins. It's gonna spin freely out here, and these hooks are gonna be trailing behind it. So there you go. 2 3/0 hooks with a piece of VIP micro tubing, a sequin, and a 6mm bead. Forgot to mention that. That's a 6mm bead in there. And that's it. That's the first method. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Caught lots of fish on this at Buoy 10 last year, and it works great. Another thing, guys, if you have not seen these already, fish hang leaderboards. Very handy little tool. It's just a piece of foam. You can get them at Fisherman's Marine, and they're about 20 bucks, and they're very handy for keeping your lures organized. You can just hook your hooks into the foam, get them secured in there, get your thing down on there like that, and then you just use these little slits right here, and you can organize all your lures. Very handy little tool. They fit nice and flat in lure boxes, so I'll show you guys that here in a second. I got this lure box here, and you can fit like 3 leaderboards with lures on them in here. Nice little container, so that's pretty handy. Another thing I like to do for these leaders is I put a little dual snap on them, so when I take them off the leader spool and hook them on my flasher, I can hook it on really quick. So a little fisherman's knot on there, pull it tight, snip off my tag in there, and there you go. So this is just a simple little handy tool that keeps your lures organized. Just like that. And you got all of them ready to go. Okay, let's get into the next rigging. Okay guys, second method is similar to the same, but not quite. So same setup on the hooks, same knots. So we'll just do this. Now, this is where the new technique comes in. So I have a bobber stop here that I would use for steelhead fishing and setting my bobber. You can use these rope ones, work okay. The rubber ones work even better. I just don't have any of them right now, the little red bobber stops, the Bomac ones. But you take this bobber stop, slide it on your line, slide it down off that straw, get it somewhat tight, like so. Thread that down your line, and then once you get it down here, you can really yank on her and get it tight so that it slides on your line, just like so. And then trim the tag ends. Leave a little bit just in case you need to tighten it ever. Just like that. So now that bobber stop's on there. Now you're going to take your 6mm bead, just like so, and you're going to thread it on there and put it down to the bobber stop. So now you have the bead and the bobber stop. Take your skinny mini, go up through that hole and then up through the top hole. And now you have an adjustable hook setup for the Skinny Mini. So say you want your hook set to be farther back, all you gotta do is slide that bobber stop up, and now your hooks are farther back. If you want them shorter, slide it down. Now they're shorter. So that is pretty nice to be able to adjust it on the fly like that. The only problem I've had with this is using these kind of bobber stops anyway, is that they eventually will come loose and then just be free sliding on here, and you'll have to take everything off and put a new bobber stop on. But I have found that the rubber ones do work a little bit better. Just sometimes if they're too small, they might go through the hole in the bead, so you can use one of those sequins again, just like you're pegging a steelhead bead on leader. But yeah, that's the second method: bobber stop and a bead, and 2 3/0 Big River bait hooks from Gamakatsu. Okay, the last and final method is the OG method that we used for years. So it's just your beads as the spacing. So I got 9 6mm beads here. You're going to put all those on your line. Okay, now you have all those on your line, 9 6mm beads. Same hook setup as the previous two fixed hooks, 3/0 hooks, 1.5 finger widths apart. Pretty simple. Got your beads on there, and then straight to your Skinny Mini. So up through the first hole, out through the top. Pull it down. As you guys can see, that spacing of those beads is almost perfect. And now your survey has something to work around, so you can spin it and it's not going to hit any hooks down there. And that's it. That one's pretty simple, easy. I like the tubing better just because it's not as heavy as these beads, because sometimes the beads will like hang down like that, and your hooks won't run as straight. That's the only downside of this one. But as they're pulling in the water, I think it does run pretty straight. Just sometimes I think these are going to hang down like that while it's trolling. But unlike this tubing, it's pretty light and it won't hang down like the beads. So that's your 3 methods. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys out there running some of your Skinny Minis out there at Buoy 10. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys on the next one.